So I think we are live now. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Lucas. Hi. Thank you for so let me introduce. So thank you everyone for joining this. Yeah. Uh, Thanks. Start again. Sorry. Thank you everyone for joining this this first workshop on oh, excuse me a second. Sorry, I had a technical issue. So thank you everyone for joining this workshop. Digital signage. Sorry, great content speaks 1,000 words. Joining me today, we have partners in SpinetiX and Megatechnic. My name's Ben Cope. I'm a principal engineer in our network and edge group at Intel. And before we get in, I just wanted to reiterate our thanks to the Panasonic team for hosting the event and all the partners present today for the collaboration we have ongoing. So just some opening thoughts from what we've heard so far. Throughout the first keynote speech, the panel session, and the fascinating horizontal workshop led by Thomas and Richard, really it's brought some great insights into the real-world considerations of implementing with SDM and the breadth of the ecosystem, and how really SDM is enabling the ecosystem beyond its physical form factor specification. We're now going to take a deep dive into what is a really important driving use case when we first defined the smart display module of digital signage, with our two great partners here who will share their real-world experiences. Digital signage has been a long-term successful business for Intel, and we appreciate, along with our partners, that it's more than just a digital copy of what was done with printed signage in the past. Some of those themes certainly came through in the opening workshop, but it's something which is needs to be adaptable and can leverage a full range of compute power. For example, integrating AI and analytics for some of the accountability use cases we described earlier, and so on. So let's meet colleagues who are joining me today, who I give great thanks to for their support in this workshop. So first off, maybe Nicola, you can introduce yourself and just give a quick introduction to your company, what you do, and why you're here today.
So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Intel. Thank you, Panasonic. Thank you, Luca, for joining me. Welcome by SpinetiX, where we believe we have a mission to amplify the integrators' business in signage, but as well create value for end customer with their screens. So who we are in Lausanne. We are AV passionates. We are in this building. I welcome you in our headquarters in Lausanne, equipped with more than 170 screens. And we are passionate about AV with 20 years of cumulated experience and background in AV electronics. We have here PhDs in AV electronics, in video analysis. We have operating system engineers. We have security engineers here. And we even have two MPEC committee members. So it's just to tell you how important it is for us to be part of standardization efforts. And I think Intel and Panasonic is putting here on the table something which will help our industry to grow. Indeed, standardization is key. I did quote earlier that I believe that alone we go faster, and together we will go further. And indeed, signage is a specific, has some specific application demand. It's an industry which sometimes can be quite tricky, sophisticated, and adopting somehow an industry standard by industry leaders will simplify the design of your project, integrators project worldwide. So SpinetiX, what do? We design signage solutions, hardware, operating system, widgets, software, cloud, 2,400 resellers worldwide, covering 140 countries. We certify those resellers, we qualify them, and then we address not only retail, needs, but as well 10 other verticals such as transportation, militaries, corporate, but as well hospitality, healthcare, and so on. So among our iconic end customer, we have the US Navy, NATO, cruise ships, but as well Hong Kong Airport, for instance. So where we are unique, what makes us special is that first, we design to make sure our integrators can do their integration job in an easy way. We have 250 widgets available, so you can connect your screen, connected through IP, of course, obviously. You connect your screens to any kind of data sources with our 250 widgets. Second, we are the first one that ever created an operating system for signage. We trademarked it as the DSOS, Digital Signage Operating System, approved on Intel-based platform. It's a secure package, light package. It's including the BIOS, the OS, and the software layer, all in one. It comes already loaded on the SDM module, as it would be with Windows or Linux. So it's a package ready there. So you connect the module on your screen, and you then benefit from the third unique value of SpinetiX, which is our cloud included for free with this DSOS package. So the real end user experience is you connect, it takes less than 1 minute to enroll the device, the SDM device, on our cloud, and you are ready to go to push image, videos, and many other kind of content. So our cloud is named Aria Cloud from SpinetiX. And that's where we are. We believe we are improving the experience. We bring this worldwide, and SDM will help us to benefit from more security, more standardization, worldwide deployment done in an easy way, being also closer to the metal and being more standardized with support, worldwide support, and so on. So thank you, Intel and Panasonic.
Thank you. Yeah, great introduction. And it's always fascinating to hear the breadth of customers and how you bring your product to market. So thanks again for that. Lucas, how about could you do an intro to your role and your company?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ben. Hello. Seen me before. I'm from Megatechnik. This is our company name. We are mainly coming from the system integrator side in the past. So our company is over about 30 years old. So we are celebrating our anniversary next year. And we also chose or decided a few years ago to also switch to the product side. We wanted to create our own product in signage because we thought we are still thinking we didn't find a product which was sufficient for our needs that we needed. So we also created our product framer of our signage product. And this is where I come from. I think, to be frank, I think SpinetiX and Framer do various topics. We do the same. We are also building our operating system for our players. So we have various players in our that we sell. Also the SDM board, of course, and we try we drive to make the experience for the customer pretty easy. So just make it easy to set up and get running on the signage area.
Thanks, Lucas. No, great introductions from you both, and again, thank you for joining me today. Just before we get into some of the discussion we wanted to have on the workshop, just wanted to remind the audience out there, if you do have any questions, we want to make sure this is interactive and we give you the answers you're hopefully looking for coming to the workshop. So please use the chat function. I'll be doing my best to monitor that as we go through our discussion here today. So I know as we were preparing for this workshop, we kind of discussed there's a number of themes when we look at the use of the smart display module specification in signage, and common themes that comes out between us all. Right? So first one is provisioning. We then have the CPU performance scalability. And thirdly, and very importantly, the out-of-box experience and the plug-and-play sort of nature that it enables. So wanted to ask you both, from the provisioning perspective, maybe starting with Lucas this time, what do you see as most important to your customers as you're selling them the smart display modules, and what do they like the most?
So they like most that they get the package. So we would try to sell a product which can be installed by the customer itself, so that it's pretty easy to use. And they like most that they unpackage the STM board, they put it into the display, and they're done. It is running, it is working. Sometimes you have to do some configuration on the display, but that's not our part. But that is it. You get an activation code, you assign your product to the cloud software that we are using, and you can start. You see the STM board here on the screen at the moment. The only thing that's left, what the customer is seeing from the product when it's successfully installed, is this plate, the front plate, with some USB connectors, with an Ethernet connector, and that's it. So that's what really most important about the SDM board and our customers. But also you mentioned the scalability of this standard. So what you see here is our standard SDM product, which can do a 4K video image display on various layers and various setups. And it is a passive model. You don't have to do much maintenance or have to take much care to you just put it in there. You turn the TV, the display on, and you get running. It is all, and it's all in the size of this card. So that's really important.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great visual you have on the desk there. It shows really the small size of module that we get can get quite a range of performance scalability in, from sort of the Atom line through to the core processor line within the module. So thank you for showing that. Nicola, how about from your perspective, what does provisioning mean to your customers, and how can SDM help?
Yeah, it was mentioning that indeed there are no more cables, no more power supply cables. There is, of course, as well a stamp that it's a certified solution. I mean, it's well thought for different range of temperatures, different harsh environments. It's also where Signage, I mean, it's not only a retail, it's as well production center, military kind of environment as well. So temperature limits, power delivery, vibrations, everything is met in terms of constraints and requirements. That's for the hardware obvious kind of reasons. Then within the module, everything comes included, the operating system, the BIOS, and so on. So the user experience is you plug it, as Lucas said, but as well, the device connects by default to the cloud. Security is taken into concerns, but from a design perspective, everything is done. Even the security is done at the design level as well. So everything is secure, connects to the cloud. And then we bring a Signage tool, the Signage Cloud, which is quite it's approved for the device, and it's completely secure and performing as it should on the device as well. So it's hardware and OS and software, everything integrated, thanks to the fact that we deliver everything edge and at the cloud together.
Nicholas Meyer, and it's as you said, it's all done up front. That's really important, especially for the integrators. You don't have to think about HDMI cabling, or if you want to, you don't have to think about the Ethernet cable. There's Wi-Fi on board on this board, so exactly. It is really plug it in, connect to Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and that's it. And you can't miss anything. It's really simple and bulletproof.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot there is also the Wi-Fi, which is convenient. A different interface as well for IoT kind of scenarios as well. Future 8K as well. So basically, the CPU is there to bring all the necessary user case, whether it's a very low demanding kind of content or a more sophisticated content. And maybe we can switch to another topic, which is how volatile we are with this module addressing different kind of segments.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a really nice segue to that second theme about CPU performance scalability. And I know we talked the other day about connectivity. So see, a lot of the dialogue today is on connectivity and talking about AV over IP. And in the latest work we've been doing on the smart display module and actually latest updates on specification and reference designs, we've been looking at Wi-Fi 6, 5 gig integration into the module. So maybe start with you, Nicola, this time, but maybe could you talk a little bit about how connectivity and use cases is really driving the need for that performance scalability?
Yeah, first, the content, indeed. If you want connectivity, it means there is also maybe an interaction with the user. So you need real time, you need performance, and you need edge computing as well. And it's not only about video. Let's say if you want to enter in the building and you want to see welcome Ben on the screen, obviously there is not someone editing the video, replacing the text in the video by Ben and then publishing the content on your player. There is obviously a camera that will recognize Ben and that will automatically pull from a database or from an XML file. It will automatically put your name on the screen as an overlay on top of a background, typically. This is feasible, this is available, and this requires a low-powered device, because we want all to save the planet, but as well some power and CPU power. So indeed, Signage is driven nowadays by more than just a playlist of image and videos. It needs to be a multi-layer, multi-zone content, but as well needs to pull data. And we, in the industry, in signage industry, we call this a widget on the apps. So basically, we provide a little piece of code that by SpinetiX, nobody needs to be a developer to position those widgets, and those widgets are pulling the data, and then this creates multi-layered content, animated content. Then the trigger can come from an IP device or from a physical edge device. And this, obviously, with the smart building scenarios, you will need more and more local power and edge computation, because it can be a face detector, it can be a RFID reader, it can be a detector, it can be anything. We recently did a GPS kind of scenario where the boat needs to quit the harbor, and of course the content will change automatically on the screen, whether the boat goes direction of New York or whether it goes direction of Washington, DC. The content change automatically. So that's edge computing and edge interaction.
Right. Now that's fascinating to hear the sort of GPS interaction and using that as a stimulus. It seems never ending, the different types of stimulus people can use to adapt signage to make it more real and interactive with what's going on. Lucas, I know as we prepared, you've done some interesting things around display mobility and making displays mobile through connectivity. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that's so what we do part of what we do is we try to deliver content, high quality content to mobile displays. For example, in the retail area, and there's also the field of with the whole bunch of devices which everyone brings within to get this the content of for example, visitors who are shooting photos, high resolution photos or videos to the device, and you need the bandwidth. For example, also on the Wi-Fi, as you mentioned with Wi-Fi 6, you will need the bandwidth to get these photos, these videos to the device, to show the device if it's an interactive board, for example. yeah, and to get the content of the screen anywhere in a building, to any place, to the even to the parking spots. We had that too. So yeah, displays are mobile too. Not only the iPhones or whatever someone is using, and you keep up with that and get the content there. Yeah.
Right, yeah, no, I think it's another some great, two great, quite different examples of the use of connectivity, but I think important common theme that this drives the need for that scalable compute, and obviously that matches your deployment and the all the TCO requirements, but it can really drive the need for that range.
Yeah, and what's really great, sorry to interrupt you, what's really great is, so we have the one side, which is mobility, sorry, mobility, and there's the other side of performance of the whole module. So as we mentioned before, we can show videos and images quite easily on screens. That is, yeah, we do this years ago, and yeah, SpinetiX does this too. But now there comes the 3D applications, 3D mall plans or plans for buildings and all that, and this also has to be mobile in some cases, because there are construction sites, or again something that I cannot think of at the moment. But you can mix and match and switch the modules to your needs. So if you need more performance, just put it out of the screen, put a bigger one, in, and you're ready to go. You're fit. You have the whole connector. The connector is really future-proof. There are a lot of lines there. I think not yet used at the moment with the whole capabilities that are possible. Talking about touchscreens that are connected inside, and the whole standards they are possible for connection. But yeah, it is really a great platform for this, and
no, thank you. That's great. Great testimonial. You're quite right. The future proofing. There was discussion on the last session on the horizontal workshop about 8K as being one of the factors driving innovation, and one of the latest updates we've done to the specification is just scalability of DisplayPort HDMI interfacing there to scale up to 8K support with the right choice of PCIe connection. So yeah, great. So again, we go back to the sort of three themes we talked about. So there's provisioning, CPU performance scalability, and really the out-of-the-box experience. So is there anything else that you want to add on, from sort of maybe a different angle on the out-of-the-box experience that the SDM is enabling with your customers?
Yeah, there are multiple other things, such as well. Indeed, I come back to the flexibility of whether you have only to display image, you can mix in the same deployment, a powerful kiosk in an airport where you would be displaying a kiosk application with a powerful HTML rendering, but at the same way, a simple video wall that display image and videos that needs a synchronization. So this you can mix the different hardware platform, and depending on to the CPU you need, and at the same time seen from the software, seen actually the edge device as the same edge device used by the CMS and the software, basically. That's great, because of course more power means more budget, and the benefit for the end customer is having the right device for his right budget as well, and his right constraints as well.
Which is really an important topic, because in the field of advertising, for example, you don't need the Core i7, Core i5 CPU on this board. You need it will always be the images, the videos, in parts, but the core will be images, videos to present to the customer and interact some kind of course. But the basic concept doesn't need that much performance, and so we can keep the costs down and scale to a few hundred devices on a much easier level than using the high performance ones, which maybe only be used on a few occasions because it needs to,
Right.
The end customer wants to keep also their screens for many years, for many decades. That's going to be a great benefit for end customer. They don't want to throw away excellent brand screens such as Panasonic, who can last for decades, while maybe they will need to change the scenario because they don't know today what they are going to be displaying in 5 years' time. So we see in Signage a lot of people already having screens and not willing to throw away screens. So if you project yourself in 5 years, it will be the same. You will have your screens and you will be able to replace the SDM module. That's the first thing. And we see a lot of people as well not knowing what they want to display, but they need sophistication. Today, it's already different than 5 years ago. Indeed, as
may I interrupt you at the moment? They certainly develop the ideas mostly at the moment when they get the Signage application. So at first there's the building phase. Oh, okay, we build we make a new building. We are doing digitalization, but the creative part mostly comes then when they get the application on hand, when everything is installed and they start doing, and then you will have the same experience. Then they start calling or visiting the support portals and see, okay, what can we do next? What can we do more? Can we mix? Can we do some live programs on the same boards or something? And that's when the flexibility comes into place. Because then you can say you have the same display, and you can say, okay, maybe you chose the budget one, you chose the easy or the light one for your budget, but on one location I want the live TV over NDI, and we can say, okay, we can do this. NDI, okay, supported maybe on this board. If you want to do NDI HX, you need to choose to another board and just put the other board in there, and you don't have to replace the whole screen. We actually have one customer which still has some Panasonic plasma displays for 20 years ago, which they put up there, and there we have this issue that they have VGA connectors still, or FBus connectors still, and they are not that flexible as the new product, which is pretty future-proof.
Now we're coming to the top of the hour here, where we'll wrap up and get on to the second set of the workshop. Just wanted to sort of encourage the audience to join our partners here, join both SpinetiX and Megatechnic in the expo session that we'll have in just over 30 minutes. So each will give you more of a hands-on run through of the product and really demonstrate hands-on that ease of use and setup and installation that's so core to the value propositions. Maybe start with you, Lucas. Do you want to give any closing thoughts to the workshop from your point of view?
I have many thoughts about this topic, but I think we left one important topic out, and that is the clean look of the display with an SDM board. We never mentioned that. We mentioned we don't have to use cables or something. But as an example, imagine you put a display into a shopping window. Okay, Before the SDM board, you had to put the PC with the Signage application anywhere in the top or bottom, and it was always a problem. The display will look good in a shopping window from any side. I think that's also one important topic to mention here. Just got to that again and wanted to mention it. And as I said in the horizontal workshop, I think what we should take home from here is that we have endless possibilities. We have a really good future for the SDM board, I think, ahead, and many possibilities to create really amazing content on screens and anywhere with it.
Thanks, Lucas. And Nicola, in the last few moments,
Yeah, a few seconds to say that during the demo afterwards, we will offer cloud accounts for free, so anyone can get an account. And then when you get your SDM, basically you connect it. It enrolls it to our cloud in less than a minute, and you can start having Signage cloud solution for free because you have the DSOS from SpinetiX already loaded on the SDM slot, and that's a great experience that I would like to share with the attendees.
Very kind, and thank you, Nicola, and thank you both again for the
thank you for your support.